Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Do you understand that? All right, hey, set the tone from the rip. All right, set the tone. If they bump, bury them. You understand that? Yes, sir. Bring it in. Together on three. Together on three. 2, 3. Together.
January 2nd, 2020 began like any other winter morning in Burlington Township, New Jersey. But inside the Willow Pointe Apartments on Salem Road, something horrific had already unfolded before sunrise. Inside apartment 2C, 2 lives had ended. One was taken by force. The other by choice. 30-year-old Kristopher Corry, youth football coach, father figure and community mentor, had brutally beaten his longtime partner, 28-year-old Tianna Drummond, to death. Then, he turned the gun on himself. There was no note. No previous police reports. No warning. And no one, especially their 2 sons, just 10 and 5 years old, was prepared for the aftermath. Welcome to Viral Crimes. Subscribe and hit the bell icon for more stories. Tianna Drummond was everything a mother could be. Bright. Loving. Ambitious. Born and raised in New Jersey, Tianna was a scholar athlete in high school, a member of the Honor Society, and a dedicated field hockey player. She had her first son at 18, but refused to let motherhood stall her goals. In 2016, she earned her bachelor's degree in entertainment management from Full Sail University. She balanced parenting, academics, and personal growth with remarkable grace. Tianna loved the simple joys, beach trips, shopping, food, family gatherings. She brought people together and always had a reason to celebrate those she loved. Her social media reflected her devotion to her boys. Days before her death, she posted a heartfelt birthday tribute to her 10-year-old son. "The most important mark I will leave on this world is my son. One of the most amazing kids I know. I don't think I could have asked for a more perfect son. From your charisma, athleticism and intelligence, you literally put your all into everything you do, and I couldn't be more proud. Having you at such a young age, we've literally grown together and I'm so happy you were chosen for me. I love you so much. Happy 10th birthday, King Jew." Kristopher "Chris" Corry, 30, was well known in Burlington County, especially on the football field.
Do you understand that? All right, hey, set the tone from the rip. All right, set the tone. If they bump, bury them. You understand that? Yes, sir. Bring it in. Together on three. Together on three. 2, 3. Yo.
As a coach for the Burlington City Blue Devils in the South Jersey Independent Youth Football Association, he was beloved by players and respected by parents. Starting as an assistant, he rose to head coach of his age group team. Under his leadership, the team became back-to-back champions. Chris was the kind of coach who gave kids rides home if their parents were working late. He'd buy gear for families who couldn't afford it. He was a mentor, a motivator, and a leader. But Chris also carried pain. In 2008, his younger brother Julian was killed during a fight on a basketball court. The 19-year-old assailant was later convicted of manslaughter. Chris rarely spoke of the loss, but those close to him believed it changed him, made him more protective and emotionally guarded. Outside of coaching, Chris worked various jobs, from construction to warehouse shifts, to support himself and his family. He and Tianna had known each other for years. They lived together, raised their children together, and were seen as a strong black couple in their community. Tianna and Chris shared their apartment with their 2 sons. They weren't legally married, but their lives were deeply intertwined, co-parenting, sharing bills, managing school drop-offs and football practices. To neighbors and friends, their life looked normal.
Look at these little monsters.
You go?
Yeah, don't stop. Let's go, Chris.
Dad. What else am I gonna try?
There were no public signs of trouble. No domestic violence reports. No restraining orders. No known history of abuse. But close friends would later recall that in the final weeks of 2019, Tianna seemed a little distracted. Anxious. Still, she never said anything specific. No one knew she was in danger. And if she knew, she never said. The trouble began late on New Year's Day 2020. Neighbors in the Willow Pointe apartment complex heard arguing, long, intense, and disturbing, coming from apartment 2C. The voices were unmistakably Tianna and Chris. The sounds didn't stop for hours. By early morning on January 2nd, around 8:45 a.m., a downstairs neighbor could no longer take it. She called 911. Her voice was tired, frantic, She hadn't slept all night, she said. Her child hadn't either. It sounds like she's screaming for her life, she told the dispatcher. Tianna's sons were not home. Likely staying with family or friends for the holiday, as they often did. Tianna was alone. And no one was able to stop what came next. By the time police arrived, it was already too late. Inside the apartment, Tianna was dead, her body showed signs of severe blunt force trauma. According to investigators, she had been fatally beaten by Kristopher Corry. The nature of the injuries was not publicly detailed, but authorities were clear. It was an act of physical violence, not a shooting. Chris, just feet away, had turned a gun on himself. The scene was ruled a murder-suicide. The boys were safe. But their parents were both gone.
A couple was found dead in their home. Neighbors say they were the parents of 2 young boys. Police say it's a murder-suicide, but they and everyone else are still looking for more answers. Fox 29's Lauren Dugan is live in Burlington Township, New Jersey. Lauren.
Hi, Shayna. Police say a neighbor called them concerned about the couple and asked officers to knock on their door. But what they found is horrifying. A man and woman dead inside their home. Now family and friends are left stunned and detectives want answers.
Just a really sad day.
Ashley Garrett sits somber inside her car. Tonight she learned police found her friends who live right across the street dead inside their Burlington Township apartment. Investigators believe it was a murder. It
hit me really hard. You know, it's very sad. I'm just at a loss for words, really. I think that's how everyone's feeling right now. Everyone's just shocked.
Sky Fox flew over the crime scene Thursday at the Willow Pointe Apartments on Woodland Way. The Burlington County Prosecutor's Office says just before 9 o'clock this morning, they found the bodies of 30-year-old Kristopher Corry and 28-year-old Tianna Drummond.
Always a bright person, always had a smile on her face, was a great mom.
Garrett says she grew up with Tianna, and Chris was a coach in the community.
He always did a lot with the kids, with sports, you know, athleticism, and just keeping the kids focused, you know, always giving them something positive to look forward to.
Police say they were in a relationship. Neighbors tell Fox 29 they had 2 little boys. No word on the weapon or how long they may have been deceased before officers arrived.
Just saw the play were crowded with police, vehicles. That's all I saw. So I was kind of concerned.
It's not too often that you have people that take the time out their day, out their family life to give back.
Garrett says she can't stomach the details, but prays for the kids now without a mother and father.
I didn't really want to get into, the whole details. It's just a huge loss for the community and for the families and friends of them too, and most importantly for those kids.
And detectives spent the day collecting evidence here at the scene. They have now taken that back to the prosecutor's office. From here, the medical examiner will perform autopsies to determine exactly how they died.
The news rocked Burlington County. No one could reconcile the smiling, energetic Coach Chris with a man who had just committed a brutal murder. No one could believe Tianna was gone, just days after celebrating her son's birthday, just weeks after smiling in photos with her boys. Both families were devastated. The community was heartbroken. Hundreds came to Tianna's funeral. Friends, co-workers, teammates, neighbors. Some had never even met her, but felt connected through the tragedy. Her obituary described her love of life, her devotion to her sons, and her accomplishments as a student and a mother. Meanwhile, the boys were placed in the care of loved ones. Supporters donated funds, clothes, and resources to help them transition into a new life. Investigators found no prior police reports linked to the couple. No history of restraining orders. No complaints from neighbors before that night. This wasn't a slow-building case of documented abuse. It was a hidden one. Tianna hadn't posted about any relationship issues. She hadn't told her friends much. If there were red flags, they were silent. And if she feared him, she never showed it publicly. To this day, many questions remain unanswered. What triggered Chris that night? What pushed a man with such a respected presence in the community to such a horrific act of violence? Was it financial stress? Emotional instability? Unresolved trauma? Only 2 people knew what really happened inside that apartment. And neither one survived to explain it. Tianna Drummond will always be remembered, not just as a victim, but as a mother, a scholar, a fighter, and a light in her community. Her story is one of love, ambition, and resilience. It is also a chilling reminder that domestic violence doesn't always look like what we expect. It doesn't always come with bruises, police records, or cries for help. Sometimes, it hides behind smiles. Behind football games. Behind closed doors. My condolences to their friends and loved ones. May you continue to heal and one day find peace. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video.